3 words, that's all it took. That's a foul. Caitlin Clark drove to the basket, got her shot swatted clean with no whistle, and said what everyone watching already knew. The ref hit her with a technical, her 4th of the season. She's now tied with Angel Reese for the most in the entire league, and she's only 13 games in. 4 down. 4 more, and the biggest name in women's basketball gets yanked off the floor, suspended, not for throwing a punch, not for some ugly incident. For being frustrated with the same whistle the league itself just spent an entire off-season rebuilding. And the person who rebuilt it, the same commissioner whose league can't sell a single building out without the woman she's about to bench. So how did we get here? Let's talk money first, because the numbers tell you everything about how this was designed. Under the new discipline structure, technicals 1 through 3 cost $500 each. Technicals 4 through 7 jump to $1,000 apiece. Number 8 hits for $1,500, and it comes with an automatic 1-game suspension. No appeal, no buyout, no exceptions. Last year, the fines started at $200. Now they've more than doubled. Somebody in the comments is already typing that player salaries went up too, so 500 stings less than 200 used to. And sure, that's technically true, but it completely misses the point. The dollars were never the real threat. The 8th whistle is. There's no salary big enough to buy back a game you're forced to miss. The money is the warning track. The suspension is the wall. Clark is now standing at rung 4 with 31 games left on the schedule. That math doesn't need a calculator. Before you blame the refs, understand who gave them the blueprint. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert took heat from all directions after the 2024 season. Players called her out publicly. Nafisa Collier reportedly called it the worst leadership in the world. So Engelbert created a state of the game task force, brought players and coaches to the table, and told everyone changes were coming to how the league handles physicality. And changes came. Officials started calling significantly more fouls, jumping from around 17.5 per team per game to over 22. Free throw attempts climbed from 18 a game to 23. 5 separate times in the first week and a half of the season, a team shot 25 or more free throws in a single game. Last season, that happened 25 times all year. But here's where it gets interesting. At the same time the league was telling officials to blow the whistle more, they also jacked up the price of reacting to it. More calls and harsher consequences for questioning them. Both moves, same off-season, same commissioner. That's not a coincidence. That's architecture. Now look at where this new system landed the hardest. Indiana led the league in fouls committed early in the season, over 24 a night, and gave up the most free throws in the league. Not second, not top 3, the most on both sides of the ledger. The New York game was the one that turned a stat line into a spectacle. The Liberty shot 40 free throws. Indiana shot 15. Breena Stewart went 18 of 21 from the line by herself on a night her team shot 36% from the field and went 2 of 18 from deep. They couldn't hit water from a boat and still won, because the game was being decided at the free throw line, 1 whistle at a time. A Liberty rookie told reporters afterward that they knew Clark was carrying 5 fouls, so they just kept attacking her. They hunted her and said it out loud into microphones like it was a scouting report. Stephanie White sat on the very task force that rebuilt the whistle and asked officials to call everything. She wanted consistency. What her team got was something else entirely. And what makes this sting even more is that it didn't start this year. Clark's rookie season in 2024 was a masterclass in walking a tightrope she never asked to be on. She missed a 3, smacked the backboard out of frustration with herself, and got teched for it. The ref's explanation in Clark's own retelling was that it was disrespectful to the game of basketball, not for showing up an opponent, not for arguing a call, for being mad at her own miss. She also caught a ruptured eardrum and a poke to the eye that year. Then came the Connecticut game. Clark took a hand across the face, got knocked to the floor in the scuffle that followed, and walked away with a technical of her own. The flagrant went to the player who hit her. The tech went to the one who got hit. Her coach didn't hold back. "Everyone's getting better except the officials," he said on the record. Clark finished that rookie year with 6 technicals, one away from what was then the suspension line. A rookie, one whistle from a forced seat. 2 seasons later, nothing has changed except the price tag stapled to it. But the way Clark is handling it now might be the most fascinating part of this whole story. Here's the thing most people miss about Caitlin Clark. She's not melting down, she's doing math. After the Chicago game where she picked up that 3rd technical, she told reporters it was definitely deserved, but she wanted it because after that she got to the free throw line more. And she wasn't lying. She went 15 for 15 from the line that night. 32 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds. She and Aaliyah Boston became the first pair of teammates in league history to each record a 30-point double-double in the same game. Nobody had ever done that. When Stephanie White picked up her own technical in the 3rd quarter, Clark loved it, saying if your coach gets a tech you should want to go to war after that. She relayed White's scouting report on the ref with a grin. He was soft. Then against Connecticut 2 days later, she nearly got herself ejected. She kicked the ball and got hit with what would have been a second tech, which means automatic ejection. The league changed it to a team delay, keeping her on the floor. She finished that game with 25 points on 10 of 17 shooting and 5 threes that moved her to 6th on Indiana's all-time three-point list. She's not afraid of the ladder. She's daring it. Now let's talk about the woman who built all of this. Last summer, Kathy Engelbert told reporters that no winning team ever complains about officiating and no losing team ever doesn't complain. "Referees are human," she said. "They miss things." That was her public position. Complaints are sour grapes. Then her own office turned around and built an entire task force to overhaul the officiating system she just defended. You don't rebuild a whistle you believe is working fine. The task force was the admission. The fine hike was the insurance policy. And meanwhile, this same league just signed an 11-year media deal worth roughly $200 million a year with Disney, Amazon, and NBC. 3 new expansion teams paid $250 million each just to join. The product has never been worth more. And the centerpiece of that product, the player who sells out arenas and moves ratings, is now 4 technicals into a system designed to eventually sit her down. Before the season started, Clark went on a podcast with Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi and set herself a number: 2 technicals all year. Taurasi set the over-under at 4.5 and immediately took the over. Bird agreed. It's mid-June and Clark already blew past both numbers. She's at 4 with most of the season still ahead and a competitive fire that does not dim on command. The NBA figured this out decades ago. Bird and Magic dragged a struggling league into the spotlight, and the people running it understood one fundamental truth. The product is the stars on the floor playing. You can manufacture drama. You can't sell an empty chair. A suspension means the arena that sells out on her name plays a night without her. The broadcast built around her face runs without its lead. Season ticket holders who circled that date get an apology instead of a point guard. And the league office that caused it all collects $1,500 for the privilege. Engelbert built the ladder. Clark is halfway up it. 4 more whistles and the league suspends the very player it's selling. Who blinks first? The commissioner or the competitor? Drop your answer in the comments.
Before going further, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. It really helps us keep bringing you the content you love. Share this video with your friends so they don't miss out on all the drama and excitement.